and also with that comment as well. Very interesting. Very interesting.
It's not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's not the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I can make.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. So today is the final review of the week and we're going to be reviewing Love Island episode 5. A lot to unpick, definitely a lot to unpick and unpack from that episode. So as always, if you haven't yet subscribed, of course be sure to subscribe. And also, what was I going to say again? Oh yeah, get cozy and comfortable with your hot Ribena and your snacks, and I really hope you enjoyed the rest of this review. Alright, okay, and alright. So let's first get started with Tasha and Andrew having a chat. I did already say, first and foremost, the sad music was finishing me, okay? The sad music was definitely finishing me. But you guys know in yesterday's challenge, the bear pong one, remember when I said in yesterday's review, and also we saw it as well, that Andrew and Paige basically kissed each other when it was for the boyfriend material or the girlfriend material question. I feel like Tasha definitely allowed the bells to ring in her head and she said, Tasha, wake up, okay? Wake up, because if this guy gets snatched from you, there is a huge possibility that you are the one that is going to be left vulnerable in the villa. So Tasha and Andrew were just having a chat. Like I said, the music was definitely finishing me, but they were basically speaking about, you know, where her head is at. She was speaking about how much she feels like, you know, she does feel like there's a very strong connection there, and of course Andrew was agreeing as well. So for me personally, I'm not saying that, I'm not doubting that there is a connection there. I definitely know that Andrew and Paige did like each other, but I feel like Tasha played that well. Yeah, like Tasha understands the assignment. She understands that this is a game and she understands that we are actually contestants. So I feel like she really played that well in order for her to secure her spot and in order to kind of reassure Andrew that I am actually quite interested in you. Not saying that she may not genuinely be interested in him, but she played that well. So let's move on to Dami and Luca's having a chat. I already like Dami. I have already expressed this in the rest of the reviews that we have done, but I feel like he was low-key giving messenger. Do you get what I mean? So he was already informing Luca, he was already informing Luca that, you know, Davide was quite annoyed that you and Gemma went on the terrace, just kind of giving him a little update. And Luca was basically saying, yeah, that Gemma is his type. He's had his eye on her and everything since he's entered the villa and everything. I thought that was quite interesting because you definitely told Paige that she was your number one, so whereas Paige in this whole scheme of things is not really given. But I think Paige seems really lovely and I don't necessarily feel like Luca does deserve her. But I feel like that was quite interesting because it took Dami to have to speak to Luca in order for him to kind of get a glimpse of what Davide was thinking before Davide, of course, confronted him himself. And we're almost certainly going to get onto that. Let's also move on to Davide and Gemma having a chat. So Gemma was basically just updating Davide on the situation. You know, he took me to the terrace. We are probably going to start getting to know each other. He shouldn't take it personal, all that type of stuff. I don't actually understand why Davide is mad, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's just not really given. First things first, it's even embarrassing if I'm going to be honest, because you are edging 30 and you are just stressing over this 19-year-old making noise, shouting, doing straight face, giving angry. I don't really understand. I definitely did laugh when Davide started swearing. I was thinking, he talks, very interesting. I did pick up on a very interesting comment that a lot of people also picked up on as well, and he basically said, like, if it was Ikenna or Dami, then whatever. Pause. What does that comment mean? What does that comment mean? Because from the outside perspective in, and also I knew I wasn't going crazy because my cousin also texted me this as well, it's low-key given, oh, if it was one of the blacks I wouldn't care, but it's him. And like I said as well, I don't really understand why Davide seems to be so angry over the situation. At the end of the day, Love Island is a game show. We are contestants. I've known you for 4 to 5 days. The way you're moving so angry over this 19-year-old is very strange. So yeah, I just feel like Davide was just doing a bit much, and also with that comment as well, very interesting. Very interesting. So moving on to when Davide ended up confronting Luca, he was still moving very mad, like I did say. But let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know if I feel like Luca owes Davide any loyalty. Number one, we're not friends. Number two, this is a game show. Number three, it's early day. Listen, when I say early, it's early. We're not even 1 week into Love Island yet. It's early days, babe. It's actually early days, so why are you moving so mad? I do feel like, okay, maybe Luca could have pulled Davide to the side to let him know that he wanted to speak to Gemma, but at the same time, I don't really know if Luca really owed Davide any loyalty. I don't think he really owed him any loyalty in that situation, and the way Davide was moving as well didn't give. But yeah, Davide was basically speaking to Luca and letting him know how disappointed he was in him. I don't know if it's because of the language barrier, maybe, but it just kind of felt like the conversation just kept going in circles. Like, he wasn't really landing. You know when some people talk and they don't land, they're just flying. I was just like, Davide, land, okay? Babe, you need to actually land. I did laugh because Ikenna was 100% eavesdropping. We love a little gist. But I feel like it was low-key given embarrassing. I don't feel like Luca was paying him any mind, and I don't think Luca actually cares about how Davide thinks. So let's move on to Ikenna and Indiyah. I can't lie, when the camera panned to them, I said, it's showtime, baby, okay? Because, you know, I did say it in my other reviews as well. It felt like for a long time it was just Paige, Tasha and Gemma's storyline on rotation. So it's quite nice to see that, you know, the cameramen and the producers are understanding the assignment and giving us glimpses into the other contestants on Love Island as well. I sound so serious, but anyway. So Ikenna and Indiyah were speaking, and I won't lie, I actually started to wonder, just from this one scene and conversation, if Ikenna is actually interested in Indiyah. I don't know if he was tired. So, someone actually replied to one of the tweets that I made. I forgot who it was, but they said, yeah, maybe he's just tired. But he just comes across as either he's really chilled or he just isn't really interested in her. Pretty nonchalant, quite quiet, just like, oh yeah. He did make a very interesting comment where he said that, you know, he hasn't necessarily had to almost quote unquote fall in love in the past couple of like years, so it's going to take him a while to kind of like get back into that mind frame in terms of wanting to pursue someone. But till then, what did he say again? I think he said he's going to treat her like one of his boys. And if a guy treats you like one of his boys, he hates you. Okay, he 100% hates you. So right now I'm just wondering if he does actually like her, but he did mention as well that he doesn't feel like she's getting it. So maybe he does like her and he doesn't want to do things too quickly, or maybe he doesn't like her and he's low-key just egging her on. I don't know. So let's move on to Dami and Amber. As you guys know, their relationship / situation, whatever you want to call it, is very much developing. So they were just speaking, you know, just about how things are between them. And one thing that I did note down is that Ekin-Su is Madame CCTV of that villa. She literally walked by and she was just like, oh my gosh, like, you guys suit, like, you guys just look so good together. I just feel like she's actually everywhere. This is the same one that didn't sleep because she's watching what Paige and Luca are doing in their bed at night time. So she's definitely Madame CCTV of the villa. But they were just basically speaking about how much they like each other. They are enjoying getting to know one another. And I definitely think Dami's love language is 100% physical touch, because when he was speaking to the camera, he was like, yeah, you know, like, we're holding hands, and he seems to love this whole like holding hands and all this type of stuff. But I think it is quite nice. A lot of people aren't sure if Dami and Amber genuinely do like each other. I think there's potential there. I do think there is potential. I do like Dami as a character. I think he comes across as being very chilled, and I do like Amber as well. I think she's very straightforward and blunt, but I think right now they seem like a good match. So yeah. So let's move on to Paige, who I absolutely love. Oh my gosh, I love Paige so much. I think she's definitely a girl's girl, good vibes, very level-headed as well. But Paige was speaking with Amber and Tasha, and she was basically opening up about the whole Luca and Gemma situation. I think she definitely had a very mature approach to it, which was really good. And she did say that, of course, it did upset her a little bit, but she just has to put on a brave face and get on with it. And I do 100% see that. Not trying to be funny or anything, but no one is losing sleep over someone with such poor tattoo placements. I'm sorry. But I do really like Paige, and I don't actually feel like Luca does deserve her. So I really hope that she's not only able to either couple up with someone in the villa who is going to treat her nicely, or hopefully a new guy or new guys come in and she's actually given the choice to be able to move further with someone else. But I don't really feel like Luca deserves her, to be honest. And even in addition to that, just before bed, Luca of course told Paige where his head is at, and she was once again quite understanding and quite mature about it. I was just like, yeah, like, of course. And I think that's just the approach everyone should have. That's the approach that Davide should have, in all honesty, because it's early days. Number one, we kind of did just meet each other. We're going to be here for a couple of weeks, and it is a game show. So everyone should be open to knowing that even if you are in a couple with someone, there is a potential that they would want to get to know someone else. Something that Paige understands and something that Davide does not. So let's move on to the following morning. Everyone, of course, was just given updates as per usual as to how things are, especially in terms of people they wanted to get to know or people they are in a couple with. What was quite cheeky, what was very cheeky was Afia actually mentioned she is feeling Ikenna in Indiyah's presence. I said, yep, the games are going to begin. So I feel like during this moment, Indiyah is definitely opening up her eyes to understand that the one guy that I could potentially be in a couple with may potentially couple someone else, and of course that could in turn mean that she's leaving the villa. So I feel like Indiyah is definitely awake now, but it's just whether or not Ikenna is on board with her or someone else. So let's move on to Paige getting to text that there was going to be a recoupling and the guys were the ones that were going to choose. Instantly, Afia and Ekin-Su find themselves in a state of quite worry and stress because I guess they've understood, number one, they're still relatively new, so they haven't really had time to really settle down in the villa. But also, number two, their places in the villa are very much risky, especially because Ekin-Su, of course, as we know, definitely wanted to see how things picked up with Davide, and Afia definitely had a huge interest on Ikenna, but nothing is actually set in stone. So it was quite interesting to see how much they were speaking about, you know, their tactics and what they're going to try and do in the remaining couple of hours to try and secure their spot in the villa. So let's move on to a very sad bit. Yeah, I won't lie, I was just like, oh, Liam, okay, Liam. And as you guys know, it was already released hours before Love Island did actually air tonight's episode that Liam had decided to call it quits and leave the villa. So Liam basically gathered everyone around the fire pit and he felt like he hasn't really been given 100% of himself, and that also he basically, like, he just felt like he wanted to come into Love Island to find love, and he doesn't really feel like he's gonna find it. As much as I am gutted, all right, absolutely gutted that Liam ended up leaving early, mental health is very important, and I'm very happy that he put himself first, and I really hope that even as he has left the villa, he's getting the help that he needs, or he's having he's having the necessary and relevant, oh my gosh, I combined the words together, he's having the necessary and relevant conversations to also try and help him as well. I know that definitely must have been really hard. A lot of people are wondering if Gemma had a huge part to play in that, and I low-key feel like maybe she did, because we do know that Liam did really like her, but also maybe it just isn't the show for him, and I'm very happy that he chose himself. But I am gutted that he did leave, because I do feel like Liam was actually quite a sweetheart. So yeah. After Liam had announced that he was leaving and he was speaking to the guys, Gemma actually said to the girls that, you know, she felt guilty and it was like partially her fault. Like I did say, I don't know if it's right to completely put the blame on Gemma herself, but I do feel like maybe she did play a part in his decision to wanting to leave. So they actually ended up going for a chat just before he left, and she was saying, of course, like, you know, I do care about you and stuff, I'm really gonna miss you. And the guys as well were also saying their farewells as well. Even, was it Afia that was crying? No, Amber was even crying as well. So it just goes to show, as much as we only see like 5 days, they're with each other literally for 24 times 5. So I guess there were some bonds there that were quite important, but it's a shame, and I am wishing Liam all the best. Let's move on to pre-recoupling. Afia and Ekin-Su, like I did say, were worried, so they were basically trying to devise a game plan as to how they are going to try and secure their spot in the villa and who exactly they are going to speak to. One thing that was quite interesting, Indiyah should have just sat down, okay? Indiyah and Ikenna were speaking, they were literally on beanbags. Convos, like I did say, was still quote unquote a bit dry, which makes me wonder if Ikenna does actually really like her or wants to get to know her. But Ekin-Su was like, oh, Indiyah, can I pull you for a chat? Like, it's really important. But as Ekin-Su is lifting Indiyah up to pull her for a chat, she can see Afia walking to the beanbag. Instead of you to rise and wake up and say, actually, I think I'm going to sit here. But I guess the game is the game, it has to be done. So Afia and Ikenna were of course having a chat, just speaking about how she feels about the recoupling and also seeing how he is as well. So yeah, that was Afia's game plan. Now on the other hand, Ekin-Su's game plan, I was suffering from secondhand embarrassment. If I could pause the screen and just sit in silence in the dark, I think I would. So she ended up wanting to speak to Davide, and they were just speaking, and she was like, you know, I'm really worried, you know, because I do really want to get to know you. I think Davide low-key plays hard to get because he knows that he's good looking, and a lot of girls maybe are attracted to him. But every time he speaks, I'm literally just like, oh, boring, very boring. Eventually they stopped lifting weights, and then he ended up lifting her. I did low-key find it a bit cringe. Actually, not low-key, high-key, okay? High-key, I found it very cringy. Just because we know what Ekin-Su is trying to do, and this is what I said in yesterday's review as well. I know that it is a game, and I'm very happy that she has come to cause drama, but you don't want to come across as being desperate. Do you get what I mean? Like, you need... yeah, roles should be reversed in it. Guys should be wanting to be chasing you. You shouldn't be needing to chase a guy. So yeah, that was quite interesting. But of course, the whole villa started to see it. Gemma as well was just giving like, okay, it's a bit cringe. And for once, I'm agreeing with Gemma. It was cringe, okay? It was actually very cringe. Last but not least, let's speak on recoupling night. So a lot of the guys are actually quite stressed as to what they're going to do. Davide, even to the extent, was speaking to Gemma like, you know, what would you do if it was between me and Luca? And I'm just thinking, you're even speaking to this girl for advice? Must be love, or must be love. So guys, that is the end of my episode 5 review. As always, I would love to know down below what you actually thought of that episode. It's been a very long week, but it's also been a very interesting week. So I'd love to know down below what you guys also thought of that episode. And yeah, it's a shame that Liam has gone, but I'm happy that he's put himself first. And as always, mental health first, always. So guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. As you know, there isn't going to be a review tomorrow because there is no Love Island tomorrow. We are going to be back on Sunday, so I really look forward to seeing you then. And I thank you so much. Week 1 done. Okay, daily reviews for 1 week done, honey. So definitely going to resume on Sunday. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all of the love. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care. Enjoy your day off. Okay, enjoy it, relax, and I will see you in our next one.
If